buy that for $1.
All right, guys. Now that the old man's out of here, let's shit talk some Acolyte.
Oh, let's talk about him. I mean,
No, he's good, dude. But it's really late by him. I know it's late for Skeeter too, but
come on,
one
I'm
of
an
us.
old man too. I'm semi-retired.
Yeah, we're all kind of getting there.
It's 1:45. But thanks to my
It's
DJ
still
hours,
early.
it's early for me.
Yep. All right, Kevin, you've been watching this. You
I
seem to
have.
be the shill of the bunch, so tell us how good this episode was, Kevin.
golly, you know, I'm wanting to like it, but I'm still not. Like, I'm not disliking it at all, but I'm not wowed by it either. There's some things that I'm kind of with, where I'm kind of cut up on it, where Soul is going through a lot of emotions right now for a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And golly, really, how do you write a Jedi that way? Like, does he not feel anything that he's having to go through right now? Like, he just lost, like, what, 12 red shirts? Or whatever happened in the previous episode. And now he's got the issue of knowing that he doesn't have Osha with him. He's got May.
Yeah,
Which that was okay. So
handcuffed to a bed. Yep, that's exactly how they made you think about that.
That's right. So we are still talking about the Parent Trap in Star Wars, aren't we?
Yep.
They swapped out. It was very obvious to everyone except for Soul that May was not Osha. He didn't figure it out until the droid had a red light on it instead of a white light. As opposed
or
to
the little beaver creature told him.
What happened to him? Like, he disappeared at some point. She did something and he disappeared. Like, he bit her leg and then
he just scampered off, ran through the air ducts. And stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the next time you see him, he's popping out from behind Saul, who just shot May with the force gun or whatever he used.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he didn't know that wasn't May or that wasn't Osha was a little ridiculous to me, because a Jedi Master should have a connection with his Padawan, regardless of how long they've been apart. There's always a connection between them.
Yeah, it could be somewhat. I can see a little bit of where an argument could be that he was so distraught over seeing so many other Jedi like completely just slaughtered in front of him that it made him so upset he wasn't thinking straight. And that eventually when he got to the point where he had that little breakdown in front of the computer or terminal all by himself, and all of a sudden things seemed to make sense to him, could be argued in that moment. He's like, damn, I see what's going on around here. Somebody's screwing around, and he picked up on the vibe of something going on with her, because there was clearly something more going on with that ship. He wasn't messing with the power himself. May certainly wasn't doing it. Might have been the little beaver for all we know, but there could also be somebody else on that ship that we're not aware of. So there's a little argument that could be made in that moment. He realized some weird shit's going on around the ship, and that is totally not Osha. But my actual opinion is the little beaver creature basically told him, hey, that ain't her.
Yeah.
And then he was like, shit, I should have caught that. It just made him totally inept, is what it did.
Yeah.
But
again, it's not bad. It's just wasn't thrilling. It was not a thrilling episode.
This was pretty much a no happening filler episode, in my opinion. And I mean, the other thing that was slightly interesting was Osha and Smilo Ren connecting and her being taken to the dark side within 20 minutes of an episode, where she basically is knocked out by her sister. They change clothes, and now she's suddenly been kidnapped by Smilo Ren, who is now walking around, jumping into a pool or a little bay by the ocean to get naked and get cleaned up, and let her watch him as he's swimming around naked. And hey, if you're not going to join me, I'm just going to get my clothes back on, girl.
And she was watching him get out.
Oh, and the eyes did drop on him.
Yeah, she
it's been
did, and
pointed
then
out
brought
on
back
other
up.
streams, and I caught it when I was watching it live. I'm like,
Yep.
oh, wow, I guess you do write what you know, former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein.
Weinstein. Yeah.
And this is the kind of storyline you get out of like soap operas and you get out of different shows entirely. You've never really seen this in Star Wars because it's not a Star Wars story and an element that's needed in Star Wars. It's just not. That's why a lot of the writing is like mid at best to just downright stupid as shit. And it's just, it was totally not necessary for the story at all. Like, when this show is ultimately over, there should be a super fan edit where it goes down from like whatever this 4 hours is down to like an hour and 20 minutes where you cut out all this stupid shit and then you get your coherent story out of it. As it is, they just keep dragging it the hell out, and that's not helping any manners at all either.
Yeah, I got that feel of like this bad sci-fi, like B-rate movie, sci-fi romance or sci-fi comedy where it's like too obvious what they were doing, but it does not fit the Star Wars initiative at all or storyline at all. It was just like I said, it's kind of that Harvey Weinstein feel. Like, oh, yep, we're making this point where you obviously see what she's looking at.
Yep. Just the fact that she's just suddenly turning to the dark side at the very end is like, yo, he's barely seduced you to the dark side, like, at all. Like, where'd this even come from? She's been like, I don't know, just trying to make sense of some of it. It's like, am I putting more thought into this than the writers did? Like, just trying to wrap my head around some of the nonsensical issues and plot devices that they're doing. I'm just trying to figure out how you get from point A to point D in like literally 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. And she puts the helmet on, and then she starts gasping like she's Lord Vader. I'm like, she Vadered everybody.
Yeah, that was too fast. Like they could have waited till the second season. Well, they got 2 more episodes left that are coming out.
Yep, just 2 left.
Yeah, they could have pushed that until, that helmet scene could have been the end of the 8th episode.
Yeah,
and gone from there, but. I was kind of disappointed with it. I was like, it's interesting how he's persuading her, talking to her, and she's kind of like, oh, yeah, I see, but it's wrong, like, but at the same time, it's kind of like they're trying to speed it up, try to get more people interested in it.
Yeah.
Besides the lightsaber whip, it's not even lightsaber, it's a light whip. I
took out a bug.
Yeah, what the heck?
Very limp-wristed style.
It reminded me of the dildo from Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't remember this at all. I remember her pulling out her lightsaber, but I don't remember it going like whip.
Mm-hmm.
So
you blink, you miss it. It took out a bug. And that is the scene from the trailer. There is no more lightsaber whipping going on.
Mm-mm.
Unless you count what's on Smiler Runs Back.
Yeah.
Right. So Venestra is going to end up being the bad guy. Maybe
That's
not.
One of my guesses, too.
My guess, too.
Maybe not intentionally per se, but that'll be the person that he's after or that caused him to become a Sith.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thought. She's the former Jedi teacher to Smiler Ren.
Yeah.
Because he does say, you may call me a Sith, but I'm not.
But in an interview, he then says he's a Sith Lord recently. So it's like,
I say that all the time. It doesn't make it true.
Yeah, we know, Kevin.
I don't know. I think the lightsaber whip is funny, only because we've seen dirty versions of it so many times.
There's going to be a whole lot more, especially if Axel Braun comes out of retirement.
With who?
Axel Braun. I'm making a joke.
Oh God. Oh God.
And we could leave that there.
Yeah.